Let's say the top 15 commands of Git. I will divide this into two categories of commands. One is repository management related commands, and the other one is to see the changes across the commits. Basically, they are inspecting your repositories or comparing various kinds of commits, that kind of commands. So, two categories, repository management and inspection related commands. So let's start with the repository management commands. The first one, git init. This command initializes a new Git repository. The next one is git clone. It clones an existing repository, usually from a remote location like GitHub to your local laptop or your local server. The third one is git add. Now this adds the files from your working area to the staging area. So basically it readies the file for the commit. Then the next command is git commit. This basically creates a new commit. It takes everything from the staging area, puts it into the local repository, and during this process it creates a new commit. The next command is git reset. This is when you made a mistake in respect of commits and you want to undo those commits. The next command is git branch. It creates lists or deletes the branches. If you are working on a special feature, so you create a branch outside your main branch and you make all the changes to your branch, and then finally you merge that branch into the main one, which is the next command. So git merge. It merges one branch into another branch. So the commits of one branch will be merged into the commits list of the other branch. The next command is git push. Now this pushes all the commits from the local repository to a remote repository. For example, from your local laptop into GitHub, which is a remote repository. The next command is git pull. It pulls the updates from the remote repository. So basically from GitHub to your local, you're getting everything. Now a similar command is git fetch. It fetches the updates from the repository. There's a slight difference between git fetch and the previous command git pull. Both of them will bring the changes from remote repository to local, but git fetch stops it at the local repository itself, whereas git pull brings those changes to your working directory also, which means you will see those files in your working directory. Whereas with git fetch, you won't see the files yet into your working directory. They are still in your local repository. That's our first category of commands, repository management related commands. Now let's move on to the second category of commands, inspection and comparison related commands. The first of these commands is git diff. Now this basically used to view the changes between the commits, how something had changed between one commit and another commit. The next command is git checkout. It's basically to switch between the branches or to restore files in a working directory. Then git stash, a very useful command. If you're working on something and you want to temporarily switch to something else, you stash the changes in a temporary or otherwise called as a dirty working directory. And then you get on with the other work and you bring in this stashed content back into working area, continue your work. That's git stash. Next one is git tag. Now it tags a specific commit. Now the commits are usually very long, unreadable numbers kind of thing. So by doing a tag, we make it more human readable. So we can attach the tags to a commit. And finally, the last four commands, git show. It shows the details of the commits and the tags and the branches. So basically everything that we have done so